Welcome everyone. We are very happy to be here in Amsterdam and to present the Universal Sea project here in the Netherlands. You know what it is about, what we're talking about. We're talking about this problem, the plastics that are everywhere, but many times seem to be so far away. But if we think about it, right? We have it in our everyday life, and many times we don't have any option really to avoid consuming plastics. If we go to a supermarket for a regular shopping day, the amounts of plastic that we bring home are incredibly huge. Especially us in the European countries here, we think, oh no, we are so smart peeps because we are having great recycling, etc. But in the end, it's not true. We are bringing most part to the landfills or to the burning, and we are just good at making it disappear and not having it visible. So also, but you know that number in the oceans, that by 2050 it's estimated that there's more plastic in the ocean than it is fish. But again, this seems to be so far away and not really relevant for us because it's always the others. But to be honest, we have it in our drinking water already. The microplastics, they are in our bodies, and we don't really know so much about the effects. We know quite a few effects already, the hormones and toxins that are leaking out of that plastic that lead to feminizing humans. So,
that is not bad.
Well, it's interesting discussions, right? So this is a huge topic that is not far in the end. It's invisible. It's an invisible enemy somehow, but we have to target it. So where is the action? Which is the big question. This is the motivation why we started the Universal Sea. Our hypothesis is that by bringing together art and innovation, we might have a new angle on how to approach this issue. Art as a way to reach people on an emotional level, and innovation to come up with sustainable solutions. So our idea is to bring together artists with scientists, with entrepreneurs, together reaching out to the public, and in a collaborative manner to push forward solutions. This is the span of our project. We are touring around Europe, reaching out to local communities to also identify the different needs. It's been very interesting so far about different levels of perception of the problem, different levels of offered solutions. And it's very exciting to put this all together to really push forward the solution. So as you see, we started in Poland, then moved on to Helsinki and Pristina, and now here in Amsterdam. We will go to Spain and Italy, and of course Berlin, where we are residing. And then in October, a whole month will be dedicated to this project and will be exposed in Budapest to have visibility to the whole public. And in the end, beyond the digital communication channels that we use, we will publish also some traditional printed communication that aims in collecting all the inspirational resources, be it artistic or business-wise, to push it to the public. Again, the power of art is a medium to catalyze change. This picture was from the opening in Poland, and it shows so nicely that genuine youngster, passion and curiosity, that we could all take a little bit to think about plastic in a different way. And then also artists, this is also another entry from an artist, are great to experiment with those kind of materials, and we will listen to quite a few other stories today as well, and come up with completely new material ideas or use cases, which is so creative already that it might propose some new insights as well, or some new ideas on how to use the material in a completely different way. So, solutions, yeah. Already starting talking about it. Of course, it's about replacing those materials and rethinking maybe also about old materials that we used before we were so excited and hit so much on plastic. For all of them, right now, what is the biggest challenge is that plastic is unfortunately so successful because it's incredibly cheap and it's incredibly easy and convenient to produce. So none of these materials right now can provide a solution in this regard. This is a question that we will direct towards you, right? How can we tackle this? So let's come what's going out there in the world regarding fighting plastic pollution. There are some great blogs where you can get everyday inspirations what you could change in your daily life. And for example, here in Amsterdam, there are initiatives that collect plastic and then also, or educate the people, but then also don't just stop at that level, but really introduce you ways how you might set up your own recycling chain for home use. It's open source, so anyone could build the machinery, given that they have the knowledge of how to fix those together, but the plans are online available. This is great. And then Plastic Rail, also based here in Amsterdam, making out of the collected waste some really cool design products. There are others as well, making fashion out of recycled plastic. Or Durat, that is producing very nice and fancy surfaces based on recycled plastic. And actually, to come back to it, using the cradle-to-cradle approach, so they also pay you to get the material back once you don't need it anymore. And also, what they do in red one, you might see a little bit, they can offer you, instead of replacing the whole sink or sink surface area, they just do a new cover, a new layer on it. So this is innovative thinking, right? So instead of the given fact that you have to replace the whole sink once there is a tiny spot on it, or 2 or 3 spots, you just put another layer on top. This is a startup based in Berlin. It's called Mitte, a water filter system that also makes sure that microplastic is taken out. They are really nicely successful with their crowdfunding campaign, having collected something like 350 or 60,000 euro for their product that takes care of microplastics. Okay. And then there come these experimental approaches that use agar-agar and seaweed as an alternative for packaging, exploring solutions around that. So actually, you could in the end eat those packages and have no waste at all available. Another prototype showing the opportunity of that bottle made of that material that then decomposes, I think, just in a few weeks. Then given that a normal regular plastic bottle would just decompose, or not even decompose, just fall apart into microplastics, but even for this process taking 450 years. And this one is just going after a few weeks, right? So edible plastic, yeah. And again, as I mentioned before, we are summarizing these inspirations that we find, especially also from the artists, in an artist inspiration booklet, and then also planning a business booklet on that. Our hypothesis is that we should go away from the moral thing. Of course, you have to shake people up, but then it's important to reach them on a playful and inspiring level. So to also show how much fun it is to think about plastic in a new way. And Jonathan, you just said it before, like plastic is like such a luxury problem, right? So, but still we have to do something about it. we have to reach the people and make the change happening, right? So maybe art can be a way to reach people. Hopefully. And then we just launched a second open call for artists that they will provide us artistic, inspirational visuals for how to replace or reuse or substitute and recycle everyday items that we have at home. And out of that, we want to make a non-text, purely visual booklet. Because what we experience, or what we all know, plastic knows no borders. Right? We, especially here in Europe, with all these beautiful tiny countries that we have a language barrier problem. And doing everything in English keeps a lot of people out of this mission. So we aim at creating a purely visual booklet here that serves as inspiration. So again, we'll set up these 3 parts. And yeah, let's draw one step back once again. Some more statistics, I guess many of you know, but to complete the picture, let's look once again about the harmful perspective of plastic. This is it. We are great at making it disappear. Germany officially has a recycling rate for plastic of 99.5%. Yeah, true, right? If you look on the real recycling rate, it's a maximum of 30%. Because the other part goes to the landfills or goes into the fire burning. And again, microplastic is proven to be in our drinking water wherever we are. Huge problem, tires. The tire dust is the main source of microplastic. What can we do about that? If we would find an innovative solution for just the tires, imagine how much we can reduce. And also the synthetic fibers in our clothes. Each round of washing will lead to leaching microplastics in the water system. And this is also an incredible thing to think about. All the water purifying systems, they don't have a filter yet for the microplastics. How can this be? Here are some numbers, how long plastics need to, let's be clear again, it's not proven if they at any time decompose, they fall apart into microplastics. And most plastics remain toxic. Toxic to our food chain, because imagine the plastic in the water. Fishes eat it, we eat the fishes. But also directly straight away to us. Water in the bottles and the plastic bottles is proven having hormonal impact on children, for example, leading to younger fertilization ages, how you call it, right? And also on men, yeah, leading to feminization. Pretty serious. 50 billion bottles of water being poured, only maximum 80% end up in landfill, so not even 20% get recycled. And they leach the toxins wherever they are. So these are pictures, of course, not here in fancy Europe, but to be quite clear again, we are only great in making the problem disappear. So actually our situation is not far from that one. We're just good managers. And again, it's a huge economy around that. Or let's say other way around, it takes a lot of money to clean beaches, etc. So let's put it the other way around, but it could be a huge market opportunity as well. Of course, it's great to see politics starting to react. the EU has plans to set up legal structures that bans certain items. Also, we've seen in the G7, or that's what I call it, G6 meeting, right? That they had it on the plan to put the ocean plastic issue in the contract. You know that why this did not happen, but it's good to see them taking it serious. But there's no way that we can stop. We have to act now, so we also have to come from a consumer perspective and demand changes. And as we have it in our project, we totally believe that entrepreneurship is a way, or is the needed way, to get sustainable solutions in the long run. Once you really have a serious business product there, then you are able to make that change happen. And then what is also coming through, what we've seen many times, those products that are making huge impact, they don't come with an ecological communication approach, not saying we are an ecological product, but convince the people through their usage, through their design, through other aspects. So let's use that. Let me give that story, but I'm always relating to that. The energy bulb, the energy saving bulb was taking off not as a product that is so ecologically friendly, but when the people got clear about that they save actually money, then it was a huge success. We have a challenge here, because as I said before, plastics is incredibly cheap and convenient and has so many use cases and opportunities there. So this is a huge, huge challenge that we have to crack. But as we are all smart people, as humans, I'm very positive and look forward to see what you are doing.